Clam on, clap off. Chlamydia. GenX, are we Feldman yet?
Hi, I'm Jason.
And I'm Greg.
We are GenX, and welcome to our podcast.
Either way, we are Gen X. I want to give a shout out to all of our listeners out there, all of our viewers, anyone who spends your time consuming our content. We thank you. That was a huge exchange back and forth. So thank you guys for all of that. Big shout out to all of our Monday listeners, and a huge shout out to Marty this week. We're going to get into it in just a moment, but thank you guys, all of you Monday faithfuls, and all of you guys that have been following us since day one or early on. Thank you guys. If this is your first time hearing us, give us a like, a comment, or a share, thumbs up, a thumbs down, whatever it is. Let us know you're here. We're on all the platforms. We're everywhere you need us to be. We have a good growing community over on the TikToks. We have this YouTube channel, and our oldest depository of podcast mania is over on podbean.com. All the links are in the description.
And your favorite streaming service.
All of them.
They should have all of the episodes. Hundreds and hundreds of them.
We just did 150.
Yeah.
We just broke 150
We love to talk
episodes.
to people and each other.
And so that's kind of the reason for this episode. But before we get into it, Greg.
Yeah, what's up?
Tell us something good, my friend.
Good friend of the show, Marty, called me this week.
Yes.
He was like, Greg, I'm at work and I should be working, but I'm doing this instead. He said, remember how you said on your podcast that you wanted to get Corey Feldman on your show? Well, I contacted his people. So Marty's people contacted Corey's people, and Corey's people got back to Marty's people. And Corey's willing to come on the show.
Corey's willing to come on the show. Corey Feldman, the real Corey Feldman, is willing to come on Gen X. Are we adults yet? Hey, Gen X fam, we've got a shot at something amazing. Corey Feldman, yes, The Goonies, Stand By Me, Lost Boys, License to Drive is down to come on Gen X. Are we adults yet? This podcast. But here's the deal, guys. We're not a big Hollywood podcast with a big studio budget. We're not. We're two 80s kids trying to keep the spirit of our generation alive, one episode at a time. And to make this happen, we need to raise $3,500. I swear to God, $3,500 to Corey to cover Corey's appearance fee, right? $3,500 American US dollars.
He's a busy man. We got to buy his time.
If his movie shaped your childhood, if his story matters to you, or if you just want to hear us chop it up with a Gen X icon, like legit Corey Feldman, you guys, head to our GoFundMe. There's a link in the description. Head to our GoFundMe. Pitch in whatever you can. Now, look, we need 100 people to put in $35. We need 35 people to put in $100. Here's the deal. If you donate over $100, we'll shout your name out on the show.
Yeah.
That's the deal. We'll shout your name out on the show. Help us make this real. Help us. Help me. Help you. Help me.
Yeah. Help us. Help you.
Us. It's
Hear
legit.
Corey Feldman tell the best stories. Is that Corey?
Was that Corey? No, that was. We're going to go ahead and forward that to the front desk. So thank you guys for that. Head to our GoFundMe. Link is down there in the description. Please, you guys, donate something. Every little bit helps. And you know what? $3,500, $3,500 American dollars isn't impossible. It is not impossible.
No, it's not impossible.
So
it's not unreasonable.
I'm actually excited because that's so attainable. We just need your help, and he could be on the show with us.
Yeah, one of the most famous guys on the planet.
Donate. Click. Donate. Click. Donate. Yes. Help us get Corey Feldman on the show. All right.
Dude, Corey Feldman charges $250 just to do one of those cameos. You heard a cameo where you can just pay an actor and he'll film himself on his phone shouting out a friend for a birthday or whatever you want message.
Really?
There's a lot of famous people you can get them to do stuff like that. He charges $250 just to do like a 1-minute cameo video.
Gen X, are we adults? Hey,
this is not an unreasonable fee for him to come on here and hang out with us for.
It is not. That's why I'm excited about it.
That's insane. I thought it would be like
and he's
15
not,
or 25 grand.
Yes, and he's still cool and relevant, doing cool shit. You know what I mean? He's still present.
That's why I mean he's busy.
That's what
he's like getting ready to go on tour.
Dude, there's hella videos of him on tour, and I was looking at his IMDb, and there's I do remember a lot, right? But there's a ton of work that I just didn't know about. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Anywho, so hella excited to have this. So thank you guys. Pitch in, click and pitch, whatever needs to happen. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Marty.
Yeah, thank
for
you.
just
Marty,
taking some crazy initiative
and just making this happen.
Being just crazy enough to do the research.
Yeah.
And find out who to contact. Because he got a hold of the right guy. That's the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, we have an email from the guy, the CEO of an entertainment company.
Right.
This is Corey's available. Kinda.
He's getting ready to go.
Because he's very busy.
Well, he's going, either he's getting cut an album. He's recording an album, or he's going on
ready
tour.
To go on tour for an album, something like that.
There we go. Anyways, all right. Here we go. Happy birthday to our YouTube channel. We are 1 year old.
1 year.
It's like we are 1 year old.
The oldest video.
We're 12 months. We should count our YouTube channel age in months for the rest of our life. He's 217 months. Yeah. He's just big for his age. Him's a little husky.
12 months.
We are 12 months old. Happy birthday to our YouTube channel. Shout out to GenX out there. Thank you guys.
Shout out to Timo for getting us started on the YouTube.
He will join us next week.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're bringing him on next week, and
nice.
he will be here, and he's going to hang out. We'll go over a whole bunch of stuff.
In studio with Taco Truck?
In studio with Taco Truck. Timo paints. Timo ribbon.
Sick.
Yeah. So happy birthday to our YouTube channel. 365 days. I can't remember exactly which day in May, but it was the middle of May when we launched our very first one. I have to look it up. But happy birthday to us. We have a whole bunch of videos, a whole bunch of love. We've grown tremendously in our first year.
We have hundreds of subscribers.
Hundreds, literally, plural.
Plural, hundreds of subscribers.
206, right?
Yep.
We are at 206 in our first year. I'm hella proud of that.
We got 77 videos.
77.
So we're cranking out the content.
Cranking out the content.
You throw us in the algo once in a while if you don't mind.
There are kids.
That'd be nice.
I watched a video the other day. I sent it to you. 10 ways to jump in a pool that had 10.7 million views.
Yes, seriously, dude.
10 ways to jump into a pool.
Yeah.
So you know what's coming. You and I were going to film a video, 10 ways to sit in a chair. Yeah, we're going to get a little goofy with it. We're going to do some skits.
And that's all it takes. 10 million views.
It was like a 10-year-old kid just jumping in a pool.
You have an audience.
Yeah, he did like a regular jump. He did like a pencil dive. He did like obviously a cannonball. You know, he did his version of a flip. You know what I mean? He did like a cartwill.
Jackknife.
He did the jack. He did all the. He did all those things, dude. It was just 10 ways to jump in a fucking pool.
I thought nobody done a jackknife in a decade, bro. Kids don't know what a jackknife is.
That's a one-legged cannonball.
I'm pretty sure you're not even allowed to say the word jackknife at a pool now.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Happy birthday to our YouTube channel. Happy birthday, and thank you guys for following us. And we made a pretty good transition from audio only over to video. And I have to remember, and I have to keep in mind that we are a podcast first and foremost, and we shoot video of the podcast. So I don't have to get caught up in making a bunch of cool videos or trying to do a whole bunch of extra
this is
shit.
more like behind the scenes.
This is just
I never really thought about it.
It's like that radio show. You can actually see what we look like.
I'm coming in my pajamas from now on.
I mean, just from the waist down we can, because it's the table up. Happy birthday, guys, and thank you very much. We don't have any cake or anything, but I do have water.
Water. I always have this tall thing sitting here.
I was thirsty. Excuse me. So happy birthday once again. I have done a lot of things for myself for personal growth. I have done a lot of things like go back to school. I've done a lot of intentional training. I've reached out to some professionals to figure out some shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And really like on a personal improvement journey. Nothing fancy, nothing, cleaning up some mess more, of anything else. But, like I said, one of the things I went back to school and stuff, but I did something deeply personal that to improve myself. And I started my expungement process.
I remember you talking about this.
I want to expunge my criminal record, and basically what that does is that, when the process comes and the time comes, I'll have to go back to court. I'll have to stand in front of a judge, and then basically He'll bring up my charges again, and I will plead not guilty. He'll vacate my no contest pleas, and then insert my not guilty pleas, and then I think the case gets closed. Something like that. They swap the pleas out, then it gets closed. It was like the disposition. I was never convicted or something like that. It's still there, but it looks like that, so it doesn't look like I was convicted or something weird like that.
That's illegal.
It's illegal stuff. Yeah, I read it. I understand it. Correct. Right. But here's why I'm even bringing it up. It required, some work. I can't just request a date and just go in and blah, blah, blah. It required a little bit of work, right? Some of the work that it required was I had to fill out this application and I had to dig through and I had to go dig up all of my, basically all my crimes that I've been in trouble for, right? And which is, for me, it's pretty easy. It was only in 2 counties. And you just go to the case index and you can look up a whole bunch of everything, find it all, case numbers, and it's all public information, right? So anyways, I find it all, I get all the dates and I fill it all out and I look and I'm like, okay, here it is. That's what I remember. Here's the dates. That's kind of how I remember it. And I remember, where I was each period of my life, with all these different things, right? So, and that wasn't the hard part. The hard part was I needed to ask 3 people to write letters for me, like character letters, people who either knew me back then, knew me when I was having a hard time, or knew me when I was struggling, people who could speak to, like a turnaround process, like a turning point, or like a recovery or rehab, kind of whatever the case is, right? And people who can speak to, what I'm doing different today and any specifics, blah, 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 right? So that part was cool. And then it said, you got to write your life story to the judge. Explain what you did wrong, why it was wrong, what you've done to make it better, and how you've bettered yourself and been a better part for our community.
Gee, it sounds like an English assignment.
Fuck, dude. And I'm like, okay, this is easy. So I started, writing down in 1995 to just 1993 and 1996 and 1990 whatever, 90 this, 2000 this, 2000 that. And that was factual, you know what I mean? And, I followed the prompt, and I pointed out where I was wrong and why it was wrong. Right. And, for me, it was super easy. You keep your hands to yourself and, don't do drugs. Right. Don't do drugs. And then it's easy to keep your, right. Anyways, listen. So I'm filling all this out and it wasn't, it was like, okay, so it was, I'm not proud of it in any way, shape, or form, right? You know what I mean? But I fell down and I stand up in front of the same fucking people and everybody knows, and I just that's something I just have to fucking live with, right? So that's part of my past. Anyways,
oh yeah, bro.
I start writing the part where I have starting to do better, right? Of course, I talk about rehab. I talk about rehab a lot, right? And I start talking about the job I have and how I give back at the job. And then I started giving examples of how I've gotten some feedback from my coworkers and feedback from my clients and feedback from this and that. And you know what I mean? And then started, labeling all the schooling I've done and the training.
You got to brag about yourself.
And then, but not to brag, but to do it, but not to do it, right? And I talk about how I kind of share and give back through social media, the trials and what I've learned, and I put myself out there for others and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, I went into this other kind of detail and I covered all these areas and I'm like, it's kind of emotional, bro. Like in a good way. You know what I mean? Like in a good way. It's like, remember that episode we did way back when, like balancing your scales?
Yeah.
Remember we talked about that?
Right.
So what I did was basically just describe both sides of my fucking scale.
Right.
The dirt and the good.
Yeah.
In this letter. I never really stopped to pay attention to all the good that I've done. I'm not patting myself on the back. All I'm just saying is I've never stopped to really look at it in a way that, to write it down.
How many pages is it?
Well, I typed it and it was like 2.5.
Word doc pages?
Word doc. Wasn't terribly long.
You just have to feed that into AI and have it turn into a movie script. In a book,
right? So
you just
I didn't
you start
AI
shopping
it,
those around
because what if the judge drops it in an AI reader?
Well, no.
I'm just saying it would suck, dude.
Here's this fictional story basis that I'm thinking about doing. Yeah. You just don't tell it what it really is.
Yeah.
So
I dropped that off. I dropped my letters off. I dropped the application off. I had to they asked for everything. I didn't have to get, but I got my my college transcripts. I made the dean's list the first semester I was there because I was so fucking gung-ho all my shit, right? And then I found my balance. You know what I mean? I'm like, I can miss this class. I don't have to do that assignment. You know, it's C's for degrees, blah, blah, blah. But I got like a high B average. Anyways, so I got the dean's list. I got some certificates. You know, I've earned some good shit. I do work for the county, you know, the behavioral health section of the county, which, you know, helps describe the giving back part. You know what I mean? Just helping everything, right? And just all the stuff I've learned. And, you know, I've talked about, you know, how on social media I've reached out to some folks who I bullied as a kid and just apologized and just, you know, made amends where I could, you know what I mean? And I talked about that stuff. And again, not to brag, not to go, hey, look at me, take a picture of me, but to like, hey, you know what? You're asking me, here it is. Here's what I have done.
You ask, you get to hear the whole story.
I've done this, right? So just like I've done the dirt, I've done the good, right? So I went down and I listed all this stuff, and I'm like, it's not that I'm proud of myself, and it wasn't like, look what I've done, good. It goes back to the balancing the scales. I'm balancing my scales.
Right.
And not that I'm done, and not that, you know, I'm like, okay, cool, I can, you know, I'm, you know, rest or nothing, but I'm doing it. And that's pretty neat. I had to like stop for a minute and like take some inventory, right? And then write it down and I'll give it to a fucking judge. And then ask him to, you know, remove my guilty pleas to all the crimes I've done.
And what's the advantage of doing this? What do you...
So there's legal advantage.
Because I hear people say that they do this. Like guys that I've worked with and will say that. And you're like, yeah, I kind of know what that means. But like, what is that? What is this? Why would you go through all that trouble?
So let's do this real quick.
Not to describe it as trouble, but...
No, I hear you. There's lots of legal things. I think my background's kind of hidden now on like, I don't have any convictions on my record.
So you don't have to check that box on a job application anymore?
Well, hopefully I won't have to fill out another application ever again, but yes.
Because I think if you try and get a concealed weapons permit, you got to tell them everything.
So expunging my record doesn't restore my gun rights. I do have a felony, and there is a law in California that says no felon will ever own a gun in California, ever. And then the second line, it says, correct, never, ever.
Yeah, ever.
And it says ever. And whatever means in this law, because I looked it up, it says if any person that resides in California has gotten a felony anywhere in the world at any point in their life, you cannot lawfully own, control, or possess a firearm or ammunition in California.
Yeah, that's going to go away, though.
No felon with a firearm.
Yeah.
So I don't have my gun rights. This won't give me my gun rights, but there's a couple things I can do. This will also give me a letter or a certificate of rehabilitation. From that, I think I can apply for or request a governor's pardon. A governor's pardon can give me my rights back. Do we have a governor who's in the media right now who might want to make a difference in the next 4 years and might want to reinvent himself and, you know what I mean, do some good for the peeps? Not that he hasn't. I'm just saying, I'm trying to build for me.
Right.
This would be a good fucking time.
This would be a good move.
This would be a good fucking time to, hey, let's sharpen this pencil a little bit and let's do some good. Let's do some good.
System.
Yes. Let's pardon you. Guns for you. Guns for everybody.
Yep.
Almost
on my way out.
But here's the thing. It's not about hiding my record anymore, because I use my record and I use what I've done, as to help others that go through it. You know what I mean? It's part of my history. Right? It's my lived experience.
It's public info.
And fuck, dude, it's public fucking info, dude, right? So, but it's more of a personal validation that I have turned the corner and that I've actually done more than just talk about it. You know what I mean? I've done some fucking footwork. I've done some legit footwork, dude. I really have, those close to me still go, yeah, well, you keep working. What's up, wifey? So, you know what I mean? But in the big picture, that's what it means the most for me. Employment opportunities, a conviction is expunged. I can legally answer no if I have been convicted of a crime on most job applications. Employers are also prohibited from considering expunged convictions in hiring. Professional licensing, expungement can assist in obtaining a professional license. So if I wanted to go on in my education and become a licensed clinical social worker or a licensed psychiatrist or psychologist or something like that.
Yeah, you get access to the state licensing system again.
So I can be licensed again.
Sick.
Yes, housing and volunteering, and landlords and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. And then obviously, personal satisfaction. That's the one I'm going for. And then, I would like to have my gun rights back, but it's not something I'm so dying for right now that I'm missing it. You know what I mean? And it's, I've been carrying around some fucking guns. I'm just kidding. I'll let myself out. Sorry. I said one of those. I said some stupid fucking joke at work today. One of the guys was talking about coming up the streets. He was describing where something was, and he's like, coming up what's that one street that's a one way into town, and some of us is G Street. And I said, oh yeah, my street. Anyways, go on. And they just kept talking, and somebody said, wait, what? I'm like, never mind, dude. I'll let myself out. On G Street, my street. I said my street. They didn't really catch it. It was kind of dumb.
Sometimes they just land flat.
And nobody fucking, but they caught it later. Like, wait, did we just run over something?
Yeah, right. What was that thing?
Never mind.
What just happened back there?
I'll let myself out. Yeah. So in a couple of weeks, I should get a phone call within a couple of weeks from one of the clerks down there at the probation office. And they'll probably ask me a few questions. Maybe I had to do something extra, whatever. And then I get a court date. I go to the court date, and then I stand in front of the judge. They ask me a bunch of questions. I might have to review some of this stuff. I might get some kind of something. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Grilling?
No, it's not going to be like the Star Wars awards ceremony, like at the end of the movie when they're all walking and the whole fucking everybody's there, and Princess Leia puts the fucking awards on their necks.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're even talking about right now.
Good Lord. Or the end of of Return of the King when after they throw the ring in the fucking volcano and they walk back and the big party's going and the King of Aragon is right there and he's like, and they come up and they all bow to him. He's like, my friends, you bow to no one. That fucking scene gave me goosebumps. That was a dope ass scene. But anyways, no. Sci-fi, history, future.
I read the book. But
Whatever.
It's a long time ago.
Oh, all right. So, and then I go in front of the judge, and then they'll vacate my pleas. They'll enter not guilty pleas, and I think they
have to exchange these words. He says these words. And
yeah, because the clerk over there,
it has to be recorded.
It's all legal. They open the matter of people versus Jason. Blah 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 blah. Yep. Blah 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 blah. Yada, yada, yada. And it's all formal. Yeah. Matter of record. It's all record. They make that noise too, actually.
Yeah, it does.
Said, all right, can we get the next one? And he opens the...
It's happening in a different room, though, so you can't hear it from the courtroom.
Is that why it is?
Yeah. That's pretty sick, though.
So
how long ago did you have to start that? It's like a year's long process?
Today is the Thursday. I dropped that off on the Monday of this week.
Yeah.
And then he said within 2 weeks I should get a phone call with a court date or more paperwork if needed. Somebody should reach out to me.
Request for more info?
Yeah.
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 This isn't enough paragraphs. You should write more paragraphs. Okay. We said 500-word essay.
So, and then I'll go to court, man. And then he'll expunge my shit. And then I'll just see what I need to do after that. A buddy of mine from work has Steve. He was on the show. He was, I think, our second guest, on the show. He has a certificate of rehabilitation.
Yeah, he went through that.
Yeah,
that's how I remember.
Yeah, it's kind of why I'm doing it. He did it, and I'm like, shit. Took me about a year. It took me a year.
Yeah, it was about a year.
I didn't think about it. I just wanted to make sure it was the right decision for me.
Yeah. Did you know that was a thing before that?
So at work, I get to help a lot of people do a lot of things. I got to help somebody go through this process a few months ago. And so, I get to help a lot of people at the same time. So this person I took down to the office, they filled out the paperwork, and then at some point later, they called and said, hey, I got a court date. Can give me transportation? And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then at some point later, they said, hey, I got my paperwork. Everything's cleared, blah, blah, blah. I don't remember the timeline, but it was pretty quick. As soon as I have a court date, then it's done. That's a wrap.
Because that's the day that it happens, right?
That's the day the case
walk
is
out of there a free man?
Yes. No record. Yep. Again, this is, more for personal achievement. And not that, I don't mean it like that, but, all my stuff was in the 90s, bro. early 2000s.
Yeah.
I got clean in 06. You know what I mean? That was a long time ago. So I don't have anything new. You know what I mean? And so a lot of, employers look over that anyway. I mean, it's active. It's out there right now. And so
It's too old to be putting on your resume.
It's too old to be. Yeah. And, obviously it wasn't something that kept me from doing a whole lot of things. So that's always good news. So anyways, yeah, my expungement process is pretty dope. I'm pretty excited about it. It's a little emotional. You know what I mean? It was good feelings.
That's a lot of digging.
Yeah. I was writing it at work and starting to go, fuck, dude, I better pop this shit up. My eyes all red and shit. I'm at work. I can't be walking around work with
People
red
think
eyes.
People will think I'm a wuss.
Yeah, I can't be a wuss. You've been working for yourself for a hot minute, bro.
I think I just passed a year. It's like a year this month or something. April maybe was the beginning of a year. It's fun and it's stressful all at the same time, and I have no idea what I'm doing at all. And I thought I was in over my head before this, and I definitely feel like I'm in over my head,
Right.
doing all this stuff because you have to be all the people. You have to be all the people for all the things. People go, oh yeah, you should. Some people will just mention, yes, you're something about your website, and I'm like, oh god, I need to go spend some time doing my own website.
Right.
Yeah, it's like the barber that has the worst haircut in town.
Busy, man.
Busy,
It's fucking busy, bro.
and I can't cut my own hair.
The mechanic has a shitty ass car, but it's got a good fucking motor in it.
Yeah,
Yeah, just needs a.
so that's how I
Just needs a.
That's kind of how I feel running it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, dude, it's been about a year.
You were saying that you got to be all the things, and I think that's a big part that people don't. That it's the first part that's not realized about being a business owner. So, like, let's say you're a graphic artist and designer at work, and you do 40, 50 hours a week. I should do this for a living. I should do this for myself. Okay, so you start your own business, and all of a sudden you just realize I don't have 40 to 50 hours worth of fucking work coming in for me to sit here and do and collect a paycheck.
Yeah,
I got to go drum. I got to go create that work
right away. Like I right away had pretty busy business.
Yeah.
And it was always hard to stop and spend time on my own stuff. And now recently over the last few months, some of that busy business has slowed down. We're not opening new businesses or new locations or any of that stuff right now. They were going through a little spurt of growth, some of these clients at the same time that I was. So I rode that
little money train. Yeah.
And now that that's dried up, it's like, oh, hold on a minute, dude. We got bills to pay, no money coming in. We didn't bill anybody this week.
Oh,
And,
fuck. Oh.
yeah, these guys aren't ordering this anymore. And so, yeah, it's been stressful the last couple months a little bit, but I still wouldn't trade it, dude. I love my life and my schedule and the people that I work with and the projects that I work on. So I still wouldn't want to trade it, even though sometimes I'm like, man, we could buy more groceries if I had a job. But and then I go, I still wouldn't trade it, dude. I'd rather not eat 2 days a week than have to do anything different or go to work.
Not 2
back
days
to
in a
people.
row.
Yeah, not 2 days in a row, but 2 days a week. Or just like
Which days?
not use any electricity in the house a couple days a week, not run the AC
Yeah, I can see
2
that.
days a week.
I can
I'd
see that.
rather I'd rather start making harder cutbacks than have to give up what I'm doing right now, because it's it's a luxurious life, like I always say, and I like the stuff that I work on. This is the stuff that I do get to do.
Yeah.
Is the best shit ever. I have fun with it. Yeah.
You get the disapproving.
My dog ate yours, bro. That's like that sounds like horse shit. Like my dog ate my homework, but I made 2 of these shirts. I made one for me and one for you, and my fucking dog ate it. My wife was yelling, "Babe, the dog's eating the T-shirt you just made." And I came in there, and the whole thing, dude, it was all wet.
Fucking slop.
He was trying to chew this label off of the shirt, and just kind of slobbered up the whole thing.
I still should have brought it. I could have watched that shit. What would you do differently next time? Or if you could go back, what would you tweak or change or do or not do? What are some of those lessons you've learned?
I was like what they say, even when you do have a job, always be interviewing.
Yeah.
Sort of like that. Even though you got work coming in, take a couple hours a week and fine tune your own shit so that you're not sitting here going, I don't have anything to do for 2 weeks. I guess I'll work on my own shit. Because then you're not making money. So there were times that I could have stopped to do a better job of, or even just going out, with postcards or, something, and visiting businesses and stuff and offering them work, seeing people because some of the jobs that I got were just from businesses that I frequent, and was friendly with the guy. And I just asked a question like, yo, what's up with your menu? Yo, what's up with that sign outside? What's up with business cards? Or just throwing something like that out there. And they go, oh, that's what you do? I go, yeah, man, anything you need, hit me up. And then a couple weeks later, I get a call. Hey, man.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because they're hiring you.
Yeah, and I kind of slacked because I had work. I kind of slacked on that for a little while. So I could do a better job of doing that self-promotion piece a little more
generating
often and frequent and stuff like that. Yeah, and keeping some stuff in the pipeline. So
gotcha.
But it's been working out. We have been doing some reach out the last couple of weeks. We have some stuff planned here over the next month or so for trying to gain some new clients. So it's going good. We've gotten a couple new clients here in the last couple of weeks. So I'm doing work on projects. It's just some of those projects don't make money until I show them what I can do. So it's like I'm working without getting paid. The payoff comes later type of deal.
Right.
That's how it works with being a marketing company, sort of. In the position I'm in, I'm not so famous that I can be like, I'll charge you $10,000 to just draw a picture for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not that cool yet. So I've got to prove myself, come up with some good product that makes someone want to buy the product that I branded for them, using their logos, using their brand, stuff like that. So I saw this chick on TikTok and she's doing something like that. She just started making gear for hockey teams, I think she started with. Yeah. She just was same thing, maybe just didn't have work, nothing coming in, loves hockey, and started taking the team's logos, redrawing them, and then laying out like hockey jerseys and all this different hats and swag and different stuff and putting their logos on it in cool different ways. And some of these teams have hit her up and started ordering stuff from her or hired her to do jobs. So
she changes her logo enough to like, you can tell it's for them. But
yeah. But it's like kind of the way that they do swag and stuff like that. You know, like the Santa Cruz logos always doesn't look exactly like the Santa Cruz logo. Yeah. But you recognize their brand wherever it's at. You know what I mean? So she's doing the same thing with some of these hockey teams and stuff, and it's kind of cool. But that's the way design works sometimes, is you got to do the work up front. Right. Show that you can do the thing. Right. And be like, yeah, hey, we can put this on hats. We can put this on T-shirts. We can put this on mouse pads or phone covers or whatever you need. T-shirts. Did I say that?
We got T-shirts.
Got T-shirts for days. Anyways, that's what I would do different. Stay on top of it.
Stay on top of it.
Don't get lazy. Always be chasing new customers.
Chasing new customers.
Yeah, because I was like, I'm busy. But I shouldn't be. That wasn't supposed to be the thing. The thing wasn't like just to make me busy. The thing was to make it so busy that I needed to bring on more people. I want to start a company that this is what I do. And I want to have people come and work in a great environment and do fun projects like I get to do. And work with the funnest guy ever. So, best boss ever.
Let's jump into the GoFundMe.
Yeah, set it up.
You want to set that shit up?
Remember when we had that guy on here and he told us how to buy, not Bitcoins, they were called XRPs. Mike came on here and I set up a whole account and did the whole thing while he was on here. If you remember and you followed along back then, was that video? Were we on video when we did that? I
think he was the last audio, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, last audio episode.
I think it was.
So if you want to find this video, people, you got to go check out our audio. I bought $40 of XRPs live on the air with Mike telling us the advantages and why it was a good idea to invest in XRPs. And hey, Mike, $176.72
from your original.
From the original $40. I just put it in there because I had to start an account with Uphold. Yeah. So I had to like scan my ID. I just sat here and I did like take selfies. You dropped
$40 and you're at $176.
$40. That is, yeah, dude, $176. from $40 with the XRP, which is kind of like a Bitcoin if you don't know what we're talking about. But it's in a different app. I have all my other Bitcoins and shit in a different app, but this is in its own app. Uphold had to get set up a wallet, and do all that stuff. Did it live on the air.
Yeah. I've traded a few for other stuff, but I do right now own 398.7 XRPs.
Yeah, how many XRPs does it say? Yeah, you got more than I do.
And I
have 72 XRPs.
And they're $2.45 right now.
Each?
Yes.
Yeah, $2.45. $2.44 just went down.
It did. I saw that. We have the same app, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so setting up new accounts and doing investments on the air in the show is very advantageous. So this should be a very good GoFundMe.
Yes.
It should be very good.
What best describes why you're fundraising? Animals, business, community, competitions, creative, education.
Corey Feldman is kind of an animal.
Faith. Sports, travel, Ukraine relief, volunteer wishes, other. Education.
Is it a wish? Is it could we say it was our dying wish? Is it Make-A-Wish? Make-A-Wish Foundation type of thing?
Competitions, community.
I could pretend.
We're a community. We're a podcast, right?
Yeah, this is we have GenXicans. We have a whole community.
We have a community. I hope that.
So you don't even you never even donated to a GoFundMe, so you don't have any kind of account at all?
I do, I think.
You're starting from scratch? Or do you have to do forgot your password?
I think I
Corey Feldman's only 1 year older than us. He was born in 71. Is that right?
Really?
70 or 71. He's got to be around there somewhere. You know who I saw? I went to a concert one time. Oh, man. It was a country band, and who was the singer? There was a guy that opened for them, but he's an actor, and he plays country music.
Teddy Pendergrass.
Let me see if ChatGPT knows.
Let's finish up and wrap this up, and then that way I can just work on this and finish that up. Yeah.
Not Kevin Costner. Kiefer's Dennis Quaid. Dude, we saw Dennis Quaid and the Sharks. That's who we saw.
It was Dennis Quaid?
Yeah, dude.
That's kind of cool.
It was a little bit sad. It was not that cool.
No?
No, he was like your drunk neighbor.
Oh, no.
On stage. Bad singing, stumbling around the stage, sort of confused. It was a bad show. It was a bad showing.
Dennis Quaid was on
Dennis
singing?
Quaid, dude. Yeah, he's got a band and he plays. I guess they consider it rock music. I thought it was kind of country. It's country music. I don't remember the band we were going to see, but he opened for him and he was clearly hammered. I got the Metallica and all those guys would go do shows super drunk.
Yeah.
Drink a whole bottle of Jack before they go on stage. Slash from Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, but that's rock and metal.
This guy could not handle his liquor, bro. Or he had been drinking all day because he was liquored up doing a show.
Right.
Yeah, Dennis Quaid. Sorry, Dennis. Put you on blast like that, but it was a horrible show, and I paid money for it. But he was good in that one movie.
I'm signed in already. So maybe they have. That sucks, dude, that Dennis Quaid was all sloppy like that.
Yeah.
So we finished setting up the GoFundMe. We'll have the links in the description. I want to thank you guys for tuning in and hanging out with us each and every week. We are over the top excited to get Corey Feldman on the show. The money is attainable. It is doable.
Yeah. That's for a good cause.
And it's for a good cause. We're going to save a lot of hungry children. I don't want to be misleading.
It's for not a selfish cause, but who doesn't want to talk to Corey Feldman about the Goonies?
We want Corey Feldman on the show, so thank you guys for donating. The links are in the description. That's going to do it for us tonight, you guys. We greatly appreciate you guys just for hanging out with us. You know, we love doing what we do, so thank you. My name is Jason.
And I'm Greg.
Peace out.
Late.
Here we go. I forgot the outro.
See?
That's stupid.
Hey, these things happen.
Stupid.